Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. How are you all today?
Bagus.
Bagus ya. Clearan bagus, Netia bagus. Edri, Inka, are you there? Edri? Zati. Good morning, Zati.
Good morning, doctor.
Morning. Yeah. Our friend positive COVID, Albert. I hope you recover soon. Take care. Take good care. Really, are you there, really? Really?
Yes, doctor.
Good morning. You promised me on the 12th, 12th of this month. Today is 26. So when are you going to send your draft to me? Or do you want me to meet you personally?
Personal.
Okay. When are you ready? I can meet you.
I'll let you know, doctor.
Okay. You please let me know. Yeah. I want to go through your whatever draft you have. Yeah. The 3 draft. Yeah. We have to go through it. Yeah. You have very limited time now. Yeah. Very, very tight today. Who else? Victor. Good morning, Victor. How are you, Victor?
Bagus. Okay.
Very good to hear you ya. Zainuddin, lama saya tak dengar orang Sabah ni. Mana kamu menghilang? Zai? Your name not even appear ya, Zai? Who else? Amelina ada. Ya. Esek Zai ya. Right. I share the note first ya. First part of the note, and I'm sharing first part of the note. Hello? Can you see the note? Clearan, boleh tengok? Netia. Lain boleh tengok? Okay. Yeah, Izati, thank you very much, Izati. Today is my 6th class with you all, yeah. Today we are looking into what are the law in Malaysia related to environmental management. Yeah, very interesting topic and very interesting law because it touches on the level of environmental management in Malaysia. How are we? How are the standard of environmental management in Malaysia as per the law that we have? Yeah. So the question here is, what is the main legislation for environmental protection in Malaysia? Yeah. In our country, the core Malaysia National Environmental Policy is one very important fundamental document, that is the Environmental Quality Act. Yeah, the Environmental Quality Act, EQA of 1974, or alternatively we call it Act 127. Yeah. What is the main purpose of this Environmental Quality Act of 1974? Yeah, the main aim is to prevent. Number one, to prevent. Number two, to control pollution. Prevent, control pollution. Number three, to set up a system to punish those who recklessly harm the environment. Very good aim. Yeah, very important aim. To prevent and control pollution. Now, based on your experience in daily life, yeah, for the last 5 years, 10 years until today, what do you think is the standard of prevention and control of pollution in Malaysia? Natia, especially the West Malaysian part. What do you think?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. What do you think is the standard, the level of prevention, the control of pollution in Kuala Lumpur or in Klang where you stay now?
Not up to the standard.
Not up to the standard. I agree. I agree with you. Yeah. If I want you to give mark between 1 very bad, 10 very good, where is the mark you want to put?
Maybe 3.
3 out of 10.
Yeah.
That is very, very bad. Yeah. If 3 out of 10. Yeah. I would say I put them 4 out of 10. Yeah. So it's not far from your evaluation. Now I would like to invite the people of Sarawak. Yeah. Now just now we hear our Senanyong counterpart. Yeah, Nitya. Now Sarawakian, if you want to give mark between 1 to 10, where do you think Sarawak is in terms of prevention and control of pollution? Albert? Abi, you put what? Clarence? I tak nampak je now, Clarence. About Rally? Ramai orang Sarawak, kenapa tak bersuara orang Sarawak?
Maybe 5, doctor.
5 out of 10, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think you are giving them 50-50? Why?
Because almost every year memang ada macam open burning lah. And then kilang also I think not really macam di enforce on the pollution lah. Pollution
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, open burning because of shifting cultivation or because of the planting of oil palm, yeah, mostly, yeah, which is true. And then in terms of environmental factory pollution, all this we can see certain part of Kuching, yeah, where the control is not so good, yeah. It's okay. It's between 3 to 5. Okay, so far. How about our friend in Sabah? Amelina. Boleh dengar kah, Amelina? Tak dengar? Siapa lagi dari Sabah ya? Amelina, Zai ya. How about Imira? Are you from Sabah, Imira? Nur Imira?
No, I'm from Sarawak.
orang Sarawak. What do you think of the prevention and control of pollution in Sarawak in your place of work?
By the government agency, I would give a 5 probably.
5 out of 10, yeah, if government
Yeah.
agency, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about the private sector? I mean the companies, the factories, all this.
Like my company, they have like a periodic checking on the environment, and we have like proper GCP plan to catch all the dust to be released out from the environment. So I think we have some strategies on how to combat the pollution from our processes.
That's good, yeah. So what do you, how do you rate your company performance, yeah?
I rate my company a 7 or 8.
7 to 8, yeah, out of 10, yeah. Okay. That is based on what you have all done, yeah. So keep the good work up and share the knowledge, you know, and then try to influence those who are not up to the mark to come forward, yeah, to improve, yeah. That's good to hear, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Izati, are you from Sabah? Izati? Farzana? Izati, are you from Sabah? Are you there, Izati? Okay, never mind. Later we can get our friend from Sabah to give us some feedback, yeah. But I would say relatively, yeah. Normally Sabah tend to have more problem than Sarawak or Semenanjung. This is relative lah, general, yeah. Based on my auditing experience, yeah. If we audit West Malaysia, Sabah, and Sarawak, normally the sample from Sabah are producing a lot of issue, yeah. That is my experience, yeah, actual work experience, yeah. So the other important part of the act is to punish those who recklessly harm the environment, yeah. Yeah, I think we have a lot of issue whereby the water source, yeah, especially in Klang Valley, yeah, the water source in Klang Valley many times have been spoiled by the discharge of unscheduled waste. Netia, can you say a few of the incident, yeah?
Like recently, the landslide at Ampang and many places, and then the flood at KL. Like suddenly, it's all because of the environment is not taken care properly.
The climate change, yeah, because of the because we failed to respond to the changes in the environment, the changes in the climate. So
Yes,
it
correct.
caused major flood in Sri Muda, is it? Sri Muda Klang, is it?
Yeah.
Sri Muda Klang. That is, I think, the worst flood in so many years, yeah. And then it destroy a lot of houses, a lot of properties, yeah, a lot of business, a lot of farming activities being destroyed, yeah. And then it caused damage in the tune of billion of ringgit, yeah, to the property of the people, yeah, which is very bad. And the latest was the land movement in what is the name of the area? Ulu Kleng.
Yeah, Ulu Klang.
Ulu Kleng, yeah, whereby that area, the soil is not so stable. Yeah,
Yes,
especially
landslide.
when it rain continuously, the soil structure becomes soft. When the soil structure becomes soft due to environment, that means less tree or day, the flow of water overflow, so it causes soft soil structure and then soil erosion. Yeah. How many houses were involved? Yeah.
About 10 houses. 10 houses and I think 2 dead. 2 or 4 dead.
Four, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 4, I think 4 dead. One
uh,
whole the house family.
yeah. So, and another reason is why it happened so fast in Kuala Lumpur in Klang Valley, the flash flood, they call it. Flash flood are those flood that happen within 1 to 2 hours. Yeah. One of the major reason is they are pond in place to to what do you call that, to collect rainwater. Yeah, so that the rainwater just don't go to the main drain, don't go to the road, you know, they go to the flood pond. I think they're about more than 10, yeah, in Klang Valley. Unfortunately, some of these are being approved for development, for housing, for commercial. Yeah. So when you approve for commercial, that means there is less flood pond to collect water, rainwater first, you know. So where will this water go? No choice, have to go to the road, right? Because you already developed the flood pond just now. That is supposed to help to manage the flood water. Yeah. So this is one of the major issue in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. And this is where the system failed to punish, yeah, those who are responsible. Yeah. And what they did is they harm the environment. Yeah. And if we fail as a country to punish those who harm our environment, then our future, the future of our children will be more severely tested. Yeah. The environment problem, the challenges will be much more greater later. Yeah. Yeah. Any question or anything to add to this discussion from your side? You remember? Yeah, Nitya, anything?
No, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember the log jam in Sarawak, Sungai Rajang. Yeah, Sungai Rajang is the longest and the biggest river in Malaysia. Yeah, the log jam happened right from Belaga, bawah Bakun Dam. Yeah, below the Bakun Dam until Sibu, and until Sarike before it moved out to the sea. The river was jammed with log, every single inch of the river. Yeah, that is the worst environmental issue in Sarawak. Yeah, at that time. Yeah, and also the river water. Ever since I went to Cebu, yeah, 25 years ago, until now, the water is masih macam susu melo susu, the color, you know. Last time, if you go to Upper Blaga before the Bakun Dam, yeah, the river was very clear, very clean. Yeah. Now we don't have that liberty of enjoying good water in those part of Sarawak, yeah. And I think this one also happened in Semenanjung, yeah, in Semenanjung and also in Sabah, yeah. That's why it's very important, this Environmental Quality Act 1974, yeah. Okay. Now I'm going through the important section, the important section and part of the Environmental Quality Act, yeah. And this one I will email to you all later. Yeah, this act, this relevant act, and also my notes. Yeah, I will email to you. Yeah. Okay. Under this Environmental Act, I'm reading from my desktop. Yeah. Don't worry, I will share with you this later. Yeah. Part 1 on the preliminary. Yeah. Section 1 is on the short title, application and commencement. Section 2 is on the interpretation. Yeah. Part 2 administration. Yeah. Under part 2 administration, you have 6 sections. Yeah. Section 3 to section 9. Section 3 is talking about the Director General and the other officers. Yeah. Section 4, the establishment of the Environmental Quality Council. Yeah. There is such a council in Malaysia. Yeah. The Environmental Quality Council. Section 5, the duration of office and eligibility for reappointment to the quality councils now. Yeah. And then section 6 is on disqualification, the resignation and the vacation from office. Yeah. Section 7, calling for meeting, quorum, voting procedure, minutes. Yeah. And section 8, the presiding officer at the meeting of the council. So part 2 is on administration. Yeah. And then section 9 is on the remuneration. Yeah. The compensation paid to the Environmental Quality Council officers. Yeah. And part 3, very important. Yeah. Part 3, very important for you as engineers in charge of project. Yeah. So what are the things under part 3? Part 3 related to licenses. Yeah. Licenses necessary in order for you to comply to the Environmental Quality Act. Yeah. There are under this license, you start with section 10 until section 17. There are 7 section relevant to license. Yeah. Number section 10, section 10. Yeah. Related to licensing authority. Who are the authority that can issue license? Yeah. Section 11 is on the license itself. Section 12, power to attach condition to license. Who can attach the condition to those license? Yeah. Section 13, the duration and the renewal of the license. Section 14, transfer of license. Section 15, register of license. Section 16, licensee to comply with license. Yeah, if you're the licensee, you must comply with the license. And then how much is the license fee? This is under section 17. Okay, so the next very important part for us in the engineering field, yeah, is related to prohibition and the control of pollution. Yeah. So this section is very important. Yeah, not only to engineers, to all those who are related in terms of project management and implementation. Yeah. So under this prohibition and control of pollution, it started from section 18 until section 34A. Yeah. This is the part that have more section under it. Yeah. So I go through the title one by one. Yeah. So that at least after this you can read the detail. Yeah. Okay. Section 18 under the prohibition and control of pollution. What are the prescribed premises to be licensed? Yeah. What are the type of premises to be licensed? Section 19, prohibition against causing vehicle, ship, or premises to become prescribed conveyance or prescribed premises. Yeah, there are some prohibition. Yeah, on that. Section 20, the requirement and approval of plan. You are required to prepare and get your plan approved. Yeah, under section 20. Under section 21, power to specify condition of emission, discharge, and etc. Yeah. Section 22, restriction on pollution of the atmosphere. Now, restriction on pollution of the atmosphere. What do you think is the atmosphere here? Victor, we are talking about restriction on pollution of the atmosphere. What is your understanding of atmosphere here, Victor?
Atmosphere, air.
Yeah, the air where we breathe. Yeah,
Hmm.
we breathe the oxygen. Yeah, this is part of the atmosphere. You know, all right. If you are in the countryside, the atmosphere is more friendly. Yeah, more down to earth. Yeah. If you are in Kuala Lumpur, yeah, if you're in Klang, how is the atmosphere in your area? How do you describe it?
How I describe atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean the air where you live. Is it good? Is it moderate? Is
It's
it
moderate.
moderate? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the feeling I also have when I stayed in Putrajaya, Nitya.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go back to my kampong in Sarawak, Nitya,
I feel so good.
I feel like living in heaven. You know,
Yeah.
when talking about atmosphere, it's so natural, so nice. No need to use aircon. You know, at night you sleep.
Yes,
Very
correct.
nice. Yeah. So I always enjoy going back to kampong because of the atmosphere. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. That is section 22. Section 23. Yeah. Restriction on noise pollution. What is noise pollution? Imira.
Noise pollution from heavy machineries.
Yes, from heavy machinery, for example.
For example, shovel, wheel loader, excavator.
Yeah, especially this excavator. Yeah, the noise pollution is tend to be very loud. Yeah.
Yes, very loud. I
Yeah.
think shovel is loud also.
Oh, the one is more louder, is it?
Because they have to grab things like in my case we have open yard, so whenever they have to take the piles, it's very noisy. And then we have also reach stacker, which is also very noisy and
It
big.
causes a lot of noise. Is the noise within the allowable standard ka, Amira?
Um, I think it's still within, but we are given like PPE, like the people working on sites were given PPE.
Oh, they're having PPE.
Yes.
Maybe those who stay nearby, yeah, they may not use PPE, yeah.
This is in Samalaju.
Oh yeah, sama laju ya, in Bintulu there, yeah, because
Yeah.
that is one of the most industrialized part of Sarawak now, I suppose, yeah, Amira.
Yes.
So this is not normal happening in industrial area, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Normal
good.
for the noise.
Yeah, good to yeah share lah. At least we understand, yeah, Amira.
Okay, thank you.
Amelina, I haven't. Are you there, Amelina?
She's not there, doctor. She has an
Oh,
emergency.
she's not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Izati,
Yes,
uh,
doctor.
where you work now?
Kuching.
No, I mean which part of Kuching?
Jalan Kereta Api.
Oh, oh, yeah. So you have no problem with noise pollution, yeah?
I think no, because that one is the more to the they don't have any sites nearby, so I don't have any problem for the noise pollution.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, where you work, you don't have this kind of problem. Yeah, because yours is more on commercial area, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
The same with Victor. Victor, which part of are you working now, Victor?
Ya, memang dekat Miri City lah, Miri City ya.
Oh, Miri City. How is the noise pollution in where you work now?
Noise pollution so far okay lah. That one no construction site and then no apa factory nearby lah.
Okay. But generally, you're talking about Miri, yeah? How do you find the weather? Is it more hotter compared to Kuching or
I
other
think
part
it's
of
more
Sarawak?
hotter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more hotter, is it?
yes.
What is the reason? Yeah,
That one I'm not so sure. Maybe because of the wind from the sea maybe.
the wind from the sea. Yeah, nothing to do with oil and gas, ka?
That one not sure doctor.
Oh, you're not sure, yeah, because I sometimes I also feel like to know, is it in Bintulu and Miri where most of our oil and gas come from, yeah? Is it these two industry affect the weather condition, yeah? Does it affect the weather condition in the two town, yeah? I cannot get the right answer yet. Yeah, we just assume. Maybe what we assume is not correct, yeah? All right. Next, we have section 24, restriction on pollution of the soil. What do you mean by pollution of the soil here under section 24? If you plant oil palm, yeah, and then you put in fertilizer to the oil palm for it to grow well, yeah, from the baby seed until it can produce fruits in 2.5 years, yeah. And after 2.5 years, you put fertilizer to make the oil palm produce quality fruits. Yeah. is those fertilizer you put on the soil cause pollution of the soil? Is that what it means? Clarence, can I have your opinion on that? Clarence or Albert? Albert, what do you think? Clarence said no idea. How about you, Albert? Oh, Albert, no idea. Okay. Somehow, from my experience, and also when we audit the government agency oil palm, for example, Saltra, Feltra, Felda, yeah. Somehow this fertilizer, manufactured fertilizer, yeah, those fertilizer that are being produced through chemical process, yeah, somehow they will disturb the artificial structure of the soil, yeah. For example, the soil may get harden, yeah, become hard, yeah, after maybe a few times of putting in fertilizer. That's why it's important that after a few cycle you use organic fertilizer, yeah, in order to bring back the level of pollution to the natural stage, yeah, natural asal, yeah, to the natural stage compared to whereby when we use the chemical fertilizer, yeah, the structure of the soil change, yeah, it become hardened, yeah. When you bring in organic fertilizer again, then the organic fertilizer will make the soil more natural, yeah, like the natural earth, yeah. So that is, I think, one way the oil palm plantation, yeah, the smallholders can address this problem. That's why even the use of chicken dung, processed chicken dung, are being encouraged because these are more environmental pollution free, yeah. So this is yeah, agree, yeah, and then it involves pesticide, yeah, pesticide. So pesticide is also it will cause pollution, yeah, pollution to the environment and also maybe pollution to the soil, yeah. If you use a lot of weed killer, yeah, a lot of weed killer to destroy the small plant, yeah. So that is also harmful to the water source and also to the soil, yeah. So as engineers, I think you must be aware of this pollution of the soil, yeah. And then section 25, restriction on pollution of inland waters, yeah. Section 26 is deleted. Section 27, provision of discharge of oil into Malaysian waters, yeah. When was the last time we have an issue whereby the oil is discharged into Malaysian waters? Do you have this case recently or not in Malaysia? The discharge of oil into Malaysian waters? I think lately we don't have, yeah, except small quantity of oil, maybe from factories, yeah, discharged to the water source in Klang area, yeah. And then Section 28, special defenses, yeah. Section 29, prohibition of discharge of waste into Malaysian waters. Yeah. Waste here can be means industrial waste or maybe our waste from our house, yeah, discharge into treated water system, yeah. And then Section 29A, yeah, prohibition on open burning. Yeah, this is applicable to all part of Malaysia, including Sarawak. Yeah, but our shifting cultivation in Sarawak to a certain extent must say open burning, and then the Kalimantan part of Borneo, yeah, Kalimantan, Sumatra, I think certain part of Java, so whereby it causes yearly pollution, yeah, air pollution coming from Kalimantan to Sabah and Sarawak, yeah, and Semenanjung, yeah. That is because of open burning. And then Section 29AA, exclusion from open burning. We have some exclusion, yeah. And then Section 29B, owner or occupier of premises liable for open burning. Yeah, if you're the owner, if you occupy the premises, you are liable for open burning. Yeah, and 29C, the defense to open burning. Section 30, power to prohibit the use of any material or equipment. Yeah. Section 30A, power to control the use of substance and product and to step the environmental labeling. Yeah, you must have the environmental labeling. Yeah. Section 30B, power to specify rules on deposit and rebate scheme. Yeah, so you need to pay certain deposit and you can also receive certain rebate scheme. Yeah. Section 31, power to require occupier to install, operate, repair all those material and equipment just now, yeah. And then you have Section 31A, prohibition order. The authority can give you the order to prohibit certain activity just now, yeah. And then Section 32, owner or occupier to maintain and operate the equipment. Yeah, you must not only operate, you must maintain the equipment. Yeah, and then Section 33, power to prohibit control licensed person from discharging of waste in certain circumstances. Yeah, you are prohibited or control, yeah, from discharging of waste. Yeah. And then Section 33A, very important, yeah. There must be an environmental audit carried out. This is required by Section 33A, yeah. And then Section 34, the exemption, and Section 34A, the last section, yeah, report on the impact of environmental resulting from the prescribed activities. That means from the activities that you apply and then you get the approval, you must prepare the report on the impact of the environment. Yeah. So without this environmental report, yeah, your project cannot proceed. Yeah, without this environmental report. Yeah. So the next important part of this Environmental Quality Act, yeah, of 1974 is part 9A, yeah, the control of schedule waste, yeah, whereby there's only one section, yeah, that control schedule waste, that is section 34B, yeah, the prohibition against placing deposit of schedule waste, yeah, you are prohibited to place or to deposit and etc. of schedule waste, yeah. And then part 10, appeal and appeal board, yeah. Only two sections involved, section 35 appeal and section 36 appeal board, yeah. And then section 10A related to payment of cess, yeah, and environmental fund, yeah. So you have the cess and environmental fund, just like the forest, yeah, the forest in Sarawak and also in Sabah, the licensee have to pay the cess, yeah, it's a kind of fee, yeah, and also the environmental fund, yeah. So under this section, you have the section 36A, research says you can carry out research, yeah, on the cess. 36B, establishment of environmental fund, yeah. 36C, environmental fund committee. 36D, contribution to the fund, and 36E, application of the fund, yeah. So that is under 10A, yeah, part 10A. Under part 11, miscellaneous, yeah. Under miscellaneous, you have section 37 until section 51, yeah. So under section 37, you have the owner or occupier to furnish information, yeah. You are required by the authority, yeah, to furnish information. Power, section 38, power to stop, board, search, and etc. That means the authority have the power to stop, come into board, yeah, and do search, yeah. And power 38, section 38A, power to examine person acquainted with case. If you are related to the case, you can be examined, yeah. And then section 39, service of notices. Section 40, evidence. They will collect evidence against you, yeah, if you go against the Environmental Quality Act, yeah. And then section 41, very important, yeah, penalty for offenses not otherwise provided for, yeah. If there is no penalty stated in this act, it will be provided under section 41, yeah. Section 42, attempts and abatement, yeah. If you attempted and you also cooperate, abatement does mean collude, yeah. Section 43, offenses by bodies of person and by servant and agent, yeah. Does mean the company, bodies of person could be the company, the authority, the servant, other officers, and the agent, yeah. And then section 44, prosecution by the authority. Section 45, compounding of offenses, yeah. Section 46, session court and court are a magistrate of the first class, yeah, to have jurisdiction, yeah. Power 46A, power to seize vehicle or ship, yeah, the authority have the power to seize your vehicle or your ship. Section 46B, power or forfeiture or disposal. Yeah. And then 46C, seizure and forfeiture of vehicle or ship. Yeah. And 46D, no cost or damages arising from seizure unless seizure made without reasonable cost. Yeah. What do you mean by reasonable cost here? It means the seizure is done in accordance to the law. Yeah. And then section 46E, compensation for loss or damage to property. Yeah. You can also apply for compensation for loss of damage to property. Yeah. Section 47, power of recovery of costs and expenses. You can recover costs and expenses involved. Yeah. And then section 48, power to detain and sell vehicle or ship. That means the authority have the power to detain and can sell your vehicle or ship. Yeah. And section 48A, power to test and prohibit the use of vehicle. Yeah. So the authority can test and prohibit the use of your vehicle. If in terms of JPJ, yeah, they have the power to test your vehicle. The smoke coming out from your vehicle, or the noise, yeah, coming up from your vehicle. Yeah. And then section 48B, any assistance also can be given. Section 49, delegation of authority can be given. Section 50, secrecy. Yeah, they cannot give any information related to cases unless only relevant to the right people. Yeah. And then the last section is section 51, regulation. Yeah, on how this Environmental Quality Act can be applied. Yeah. So that is the overall main legislation for Environmental Quality Act in Malaysia. Yeah. Any questions so far until now? No question, Anatia? Mira, no question. Yeah. Okay. We proceed, and then we will break. Now it's 9:08. We will break at 9:30. Yeah. All right. We continue with our notes. Yeah. You can see the note now, Ken. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Natia. Mira, Victor, thank you for the feedback. Yeah. Now, as we have mentioned earlier, yeah, this Environmental Quality Act, yeah, an act relating to prevention. Yeah. Prevention here means we take action before the problem happen. We take action. Now, if you remember clearly, when we go through the list of the section under the Environmental Quality Act, there is one section mentioning about the preparation of environmental report before any project can be proceed in Malaysia. Now, how do you think that can control pollution? Victor, we are talking about the environmental quality report. Yeah, before the project can be approved to proceed. How do you think this report can control pollution?
This report it must be complied by the applicant the apa nama the
The owner of the
operator.
project.
Yeah,
Yes.
they need to comply for the control system control pollution. They need to comply lah in the report. They must have minimum control on certain environment lah macam air, then need to comply, and then air pollution, water pollution, all of the environmental quality lah. They need to comply lah before they can start the project. So I think boleh lah, they can control in terms of minimum.
Minimum compliant to the Environmental Quality Act, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any more addition to that point of view, Nitya, from you? Or
No, doctor,
about-
nothing.
yeah.
No idea, doctor.
Oh, no idea. Any other opinion from the class? Imira?
What's the question just now, doctor?
Okay. Now, under the Environmental Quality Act, yeah, before any project can be approved and then can jalan, yeah, can carry out the project, yeah, they must prepare the environmental quality report. We call it EIA report. Yeah,
Yes.
EIA report. Now, how is this EIA report important in terms of controlling pollution?
I think in the report you have to state the mitigation and the methods that you're going to use for the mitigation. So I think that's how they will combat the whatever the pollution or whatever adverse effect towards the environment. So this report will be reviewed by DOE, and DOE will give their comments, and probably they can improve from there. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the EIA report will indicate those areas that they must comply as per the Environmental Quality Act and provided in the environmental regulation. Yeah. The regulation will be the more detailed part to show what area of environment they must comply. Yeah. So after this EIA report is being prepared by the consultant, yeah, please bear in mind, yeah, very important. If you are the consultant, you must write the report yourself and you must go to the site before you write the report. Yeah. Your report cannot be different from what is on the site. It has to show the actual environment standard on site as per the environmental regulation under the Environmental Quality Act. Yeah. And after that, that report must be submitted to the DOE, the Department of Environment, for them to check. Yeah, to see whether your report as per the site reflect the reality the requirement of environmental legislation, regulation. Yeah. Yes, very important. Integrity. Yeah. In anything you do, integrity, ethics is very important. Yeah. Especially like us in the process of getting master or later PhD. Integrity and ethics is very, very important. Yeah. Because if there is lack of integrity, ethics in preparing the EIA report, then the report did not reflect reality on the ground. Palsu. Yeah. And when the report is palsu, you know what will happen. Your project will destroy the pollution, the environment. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Izati. Yeah. Izati, guys, now. No, Mira, is it? For your contribution, yeah. And then the egg also enhance the environment and for the purpose connected therein. Yeah. So the EIA, from the actual EIA report and the checking done by the DOE, this EIA report will enhance or improve the environment. Yeah. And whatever is the purpose of this EIA report will also somehow serve the purpose. Yeah, serve the purpose of controlling, preventing, enhance the environment. What do you mean by enhance of environment here? Yeah, what actually you mean? Imira, are you there, Imira?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah,
Enhancement of environment.
we're talking about EIA report. Yeah.
Enhancement of the environment. Mitigation plans. When we found,
yeah,
for example, if we find that that certain activity could affect the environment, then they have the mitigation plan. So somehow, I guess it's a enhancement of the environment to prevent pollution.
yeah. That's right. Very good. Yeah. So in the process of preparing the EIA report, they may observe some weaknesses that may contribute to pollution. Yeah. So in the EIA report, they will suggest practical and implementable step to overcome the environmental challenges just now. Yeah. And when they implement this practical step, yeah, implementable step, definitely this will improve or enhance the environment in terms of noise pollution, atmosphere pollution, yeah, or in terms of you remember we talked about the air pollution from the burning, open burning, yeah, very bad in certain years in Sarawak. But during the COVID-19, this pollution doesn't happen, yeah. last 2 to 3 years, you don't see the air pollution, yeah, from open burning. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. They might be a little bit, but not as bad as prior to COVID-19. Yeah. So somehow the good effect of this COVID-19, less economic activity, less open burning, I think. Yeah. So less air pollution. Yeah. That is the bright side of COVID-19. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So what is the environmental regulation used in Malaysia? Yeah. So our country, Malaysia, enacted the first of its kind, yeah, the environmental legislation in the form of the Environmental Quality Act 1974, yeah, and has given on the charge for the first time, yeah, for controlling, regulating the industrial pollution. Example of industrial pollution is now the schedule waste, yeah, from the industry, yeah. Wastewater can be water used from our houses, from the office, yeah. Wastewater. Air pollution from factories. For example, the cement factories, yeah. You can see the dark smoke coming out from the factories. Or if you go to the oil palm processing factory, yeah, processing plant, yeah, you can see the black smoke coming out from the oil palm mill, yeah. They call it the oil palm mill, yeah. And solid waste management problem, yeah. What do you mean by solid waste management here? Nitya.
I guess managing the waste produced by factories, companies, households.
Especially in terms of industry, yeah, whereby
Yeah.
they produce solid waste, yeah. I mean bigger
Bigger
waste, yeah.
scale. Bigger waste scale.
Yes, yeah. How about those factory that produce computer, chip, and phone, all this, yeah? What
It's
kind
under
of waste?
electronic e-waste.
E-waste, is it?
Yes.
Electrical waste, yeah? So all this need to be controlled and regulated, yeah? So in order to cope with the environmental problem, yeah, the government of Malaysia has passed some important environmental laws and policies. Yeah, these are the example, yeah. So our country lucky, we have the necessary act to control and manage the environmental laws and the policy, yeah, in order to mitigate the environmental problem caused to our country, yeah. Number one, the foremost is we have learned just now, yeah, we have discussed just now, the Environmental Quality Act 1974 and the regulation related to this act, Regulation 1989, yeah. Normally, the regulation will manage in detail, ministered in detail what are the process, the step that the agencies, the customers, the stakeholders must follow, must comply to. Yeah. And then we have the Environmental Quality Order 1989. Yeah. In tandem with the regulation 1989, we also have the Environmental Quality Order the same year, 1989. Yeah, and then C is the Protection of Wildlife Act. Yeah, for example, in Semenanjung, the tiger, yeah, the tiger, the lion. In Sarawak, we have the Bujang Senang. Have you heard of Bujang Senang? Yeah.
No.
No. Huh? Victor, can you explain what is Bujang Senang to our friend in Semenanjung? Oh, Sabah.
Crocodile, Bujang Senang lah.
Ya. Cerita sedikit lah, Victor. Apa?
Oke.
Apa?
Bujang Senang dulu lah. Ada kira macam ketua buaya lah. Dia boleh menjelma jadi manusia. So dia dipanggil Bujang Senang lah. Dekat mana? Dekat Sungai Rajang ke kalau tak silap. Dulu lah.
Sungai Rajang.
Ya lah.
So that is the basic story lah, nanti ya. The crocodile in Sarawak is protected under the wildlife. Yeah, we cannot simply disturb or kill the crocodile. You have to have good license. Yeah, and then this Bujang Senang is macam cerita dongeng, tapi in reality it happened. Yeah, whereby this crocodile, the famous crocodile in Sarawak, yeah, it's called Bujang Senang. Some Bujang Senang are good. It don't disturb people. Some Bujang Senang are not good because it can kill people. Yeah.
Really exists, is it?
Yeah, there are a lot of crocodile in Sarawak. It really exists. Yeah. There are
The
cases.
crocodile is named as Bujang Senang, is it?
The story goes asal usul lah, the original crocodile in Sarawak is the Bujang Senang lah. Actually, Bujang Senang mean good crocodile. Yeah, but in reality, not all crocodile are good. Some are bad, some are good. You know, you see the crocodile, the good Bujang Senang, they don't disturb you. Yeah, they just go away from you. The bad Bujang Senang, they can attack you and kill you. Yeah. So just like us human being, some of us are good, some of us are not good, some of us are natural. Yeah. Yeah. So so the wildlife in Malaysia is being protected. That's the message lah, yeah. And then we have the National Forestry Act. Yeah, we have plenty of national forests in in Sarawak. Yeah, and one of the biggest is the Mulu Cave, the Bako National Park. I think a few more in Semelaju National Park also, and the Nia National Park. And we have the Gunung Gading in Lunu National Park. There's so many national park in Sarawak. Yeah? Bring your family, your children, enjoy the national park in Sarawak. Yeah, and also in Sabah we have the Kota Kinabalu National Park. Yeah, the highest mountain in Asia, in Southeast Asia, yeah. And then you have the Fisheries Act 1985, yeah. And this Fishery Act atau Akta Perikanan 1985 is a Malaysian Federal Government Act relating to the administration management of fisheries, including the conservation development of maritime estuarine fishing fisheries in Malaysian waters, protection to aquatic mammals and turtle, and riverine fishing. Yeah. So now it's 9:31. So I propose we break and then we come back at 9:45 a.m. Is that okay, Natia? Oh, 9:50, yeah, okay. Natia proposed 9:50. So we take a break now and then we come at 9:50. Yeah, okay? Right. Pergilah beli breakfast, Victor, ya. So siapa yang belum sempat breakfast tadi pergilah beli, ya. Oke, Natia. Hello. Hello, everyone.
Yes, doctor.
Welcome back to our class. Okay. Who is the government or the government body responsible for protecting the environment in Malaysia?
DOE,
Yeah,
Department of Environment.
yeah. Sometimes we always heard of the word DOE, yeah, the Department of Environment Malaysia is an agency responsible for promoting. Remember the word promoting, yeah, promotion, yeah, conservation, yeah, sustaining sound environmental management. Yeah, they must promote, conserve, sustain. Sound mean good. Yeah, good environmental management. And in the process of nation building. Yeah, we cannot run away from the fact that we move from least developed country to developing towards developed country. Now, are we already a developed country, Malaysia? Yes, we are. In certain area of Malaysia, I think I agree with the Klang Valley, the Johor Johor Bahru proper, Pulau Pinang, ya, certain part of KK, certain part of the city of Kuching, yeah. We already reached the stage of developed country, yeah. But we are not there yet in every aspect. And one of the area that is of concern is sustainable, sound environmental management. Yeah, this is one of the area that we have to strengthen our promotion, our conservation, our sustainability in terms of sound environmental management that can be at par to South Korea. Yeah, South Korea, to Japan, to US and to UK. Yeah. Why do we need all this? Yeah. In order to ensure that our environment is always clean, number one, healthy, not only clean, but healthy and safe for the well-being of all Malaysian. Yeah. Now, if you look at what is happening surrounding us, especially in the city area, yeah, whereby the level of clean river is not up to the mark yet compared to what I've seen in Seoul, in South Korea. Yeah, where in the heart, in the middle of the city of Seoul, the river is very, very clean. They call that area as the river of life. Yeah, very clean, the river. And if you come to Kuching, Sungai Sarawak that pass through the city of Kuching, the level of cleanliness of the river is quite acceptable. Yeah, but it can be further improved. Rajang River is really out of the question. It's quite far away from the standard that can meet the DOE regulation order. Yeah. The Klang River, how is it now? The water in
The same,
Klang River.
same only, no difference.
No different. That means we have not met the standard
Yeah,
as
it
per
is.
the DOE. Yeah,
It is more worse.
it's getting worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that case, we are nowhere to be a developed country in terms of the environmental standard. Yeah, we fail on that particular portion, but thankfully, overall, like what we have in Sarawak is the Sarawak River Board, whereby the main activity is to take care of the rivers in terms of safety, in terms of standard, in terms of following the DOE order and regulation. Yeah, I have not heard of any river board in Semenanjung, yeah, or in Sabah. We have it in Sarawak. Yeah, so in a way, Sarawak is moving towards cleaning the water, the rivers in Sarawak. Yeah, but I think for Rajang River is a very tall order for them. Yeah, because the logging activity is still carried out in the upper Rajang River. Yeah. So the water level, the quality is not up to the mark. Yeah. Okay. So what are the DOE and its function? Yeah. So DOE allows for multiple input factors. Yeah. To be manipulated to determine their effect, yeah, on the desired output or response. So by manipulating the multiple inputs at the same time, DOE can identify important interaction that may be missed when experimenting with one factor at a time. So DOE use many approach, many model, yeah, where they input many factors, multiple input factors. They manipulated it in order to determine from all these factors, yeah, what will be the desired output, the response on the environment. Yeah. So in that way, they can identify what are factor number 1, number 2, number 3, and the rest, yeah, that interact and which they miss while doing the experiment with one factor at a time. Yeah, and also they can know among all these many factors, what are the main factors that cause environmental pollution to the country. Yeah, they can know factor number 1, the most important factor, the second most important factor, the third most important factor, and how this factor affects the environment. Yeah, once they know, they determine the factor, then they will propose practical, implementable policy action that can overcome the environment problem just now. Yeah. So as a result of that, they can come out with national policy on environment. Yeah. Dashan. Yeah. Continuously established for economic, social, and cultural progress. Very important at the end of the day to enhance, to bring in quality of life to Malaysian through environmentally sound and sustainable development. Now, if people ask you, as the engineer in charge of project management, project management and implementation, yeah, from planning until the project is completed. Now, what do you understand by environmentally sound and sustained development in relation to your work in your company? Victor? Any input from you?
No idea at all.
Okay, no problem with that. How about Nitya? In your place of work, Nitya, yeah, where you work now,
Yeah.
yeah, talking about environmentally sound and sustainable development, yeah. Do you think your company contribute to good environmental policy
Yes.
and sustainable development? Why do you say so?
Mm, we have a environment policy and also the ISO for managing environment.
You have the policy and also the ISO
Yes.
for sound environmental and sustainable development, yeah.
Yeah. And
Now,
programs related to environment.
and those program activities that are related to environment, yeah. Who's the talking? Tak dengar sangat ya. Siapa tadi? Now, Natya, in terms of sustainable development, sustainable means the development can be sustained from now until the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. That is what we mean by sustain. Yeah, it can be carried out, no break. Yeah. So how is your company contribute towards sustainable development in Malaysia? How about Izati? Anything you want to share? Or Imira? Yeah. Izati or Imira?
Doctor, what was the question again? My line was bad.
Oh, okay. Where you work now, Izati, yeah, the place of your work.
Okay.
How do you think your company can contribute to good environmental, sound environmental, yeah, and sustainable development in
Oh.
your area of working now, and eventually that contribute to Sarawak and also to Malaysia. That is what the question is.
Oh, I have no idea, sir. Because currently I'm working in a consultant, so there's no I didn't go to the site, so I'm not sure on how the consultant contribute to the sound sound in sustainable development.
Okay. My next question to you, Izati, yeah? Are you
Yeah.
involved in the EIA report?
No, because my department is more towards the transportation.
Oh, more toward transportation, yeah, not
Yeah.
no relation to EIA, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Anyone among you who have some connection with EIA report? Really? Are you work related to EIA report? No response, huh? Really?
Hi, Doctor. Yeah, basically we do have AIA report for our company, but well, for my department we don't really involve on that because we do have our environmental and safety department that oversee all the report for the EIA lah. Yeah.
In other words, your company, they have a division.
Yep.
Which taking care of the EIA report, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So in your opinion, yeah, how your company contribute to sound mean good environmental management and sustainable development in your area or in Sarawak, yeah?
I mean, practically at the moment we haven't started any construction because we are still in the design part. But theoretically, we do have a mitigation plan. So basically, for all of the environments, we talk about the noise pollution or any other pollution, we do have a mitigation plan from our which is the SOP for our company. And then the way how we contribute to the sustainability development, like I said, the what do you call the policy that comply with all the regulation from authorities lah. Yeah,
I see.
that is my opinion on the theoretically lah, because at the moment, secara practical, we haven't started any construction yet because we are still in the design phase. Yeah, that is how I see it lah at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you can also contribute by giving your opinion on what you have learned in this class, yeah? How, when they carry out the AIA report, make sure that that report reflect the reality on the ground, yeah? And comply to the DOE regulation, the order, and what the act, the respective section in the act require. And with that, I think secara automatic, whether direct or indirectly, your company will contribute to sound environmental management and also very important, yeah, sustain development in where you are operating, and then finally that will contribute to Sarawak and Malaysia, yeah. So that is how it should work for all of us, yeah. Now, how many environmental laws are there in Malaysia? Yeah, there is no lack of legislation on environmental laws in Malaysia, yeah. There are at least 34 acts, yeah, 34 acts related to the environmental matters, yeah, and the various rules, regulation, orders. Remember, yeah, you have rules, regulation, and orders passed for the purpose of the environmental protection. Yeah, so we have plenty of them, except the important part, the critical part is the enforcement. Yeah, that all our regulation, our rules and orders must be enforced. Yeah, and those who do not comply must be ethically, yeah, and with integrity. They must be asked to enforce the law, and then if they don't comply, we must fine them according to what the regulations say, yeah. So the ministry involved is the Ministry of Environment and Water, yes, and I think the policy tag, yeah, is the environment, our shared responsibility. That means all of us, yeah, it is our responsibility, our shared responsibility, yeah, to take care of the environment. That is the policy tag, yeah. So the background, yeah, for the establishment of the DOE, yeah. So originally created under the Environment Division, Ministry of Local Government Environment, yeah, in 15 April 1975. And earlier on, it was an Environment Division under Ministry of Science, Technology and Environment in 1976. Yeah. So the importance of environmental protection and conservation. Yeah. In 1st September 1983, this environment division has been upgraded to become department known as the Department of Environment. Yeah. So in March 2004, DOE was then placed under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. So now, currently, we have the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. And also, we still have the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. At one time, under the PH government, yeah, these two ministry was combined. And after the dissolution of PH government into the PN government, then the ministry was split again, yeah, until now. Okay, so under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment, yeah, the Department of Environment is based on the Environmental Quality Act 1974, yeah, and come into force in 15 April 1975. Okay, so what is the core business of the DOE? Yeah, very important. Yeah, the main function first to prevent. Sebelum berlaku, prevent dulu. Yeah, after they prevent, then they eliminate. Yeah, if there are cases of environmental problem, they will eliminate. Control pollution, improve the environment. Yeah, consistent with the purpose of the Environmental Quality Act 1974. And any regulation, any rules, any order, together with the Environmental Quality Act. Yeah. So DOE is responsible for the implementation of the resolution decided by the Convention of International Environment, such as the Vienna Convention. Yeah. For the protection of ozone layer, 1985, very important, yeah. And then the Montreal Protocol on substance that deplete the ozone layer. What are the substance that deplete the ozone layer? Anybody have any example? Victor? For example, the
Carbon dioxide.
car emission, the that produced by Econ,
Yes, CFC.
CFC, yeah. So that disturb the protection, the ozone layer. Yeah. That's why now most modern car are fitted with exhaust that can minimize the effect of carbon monoxide produced by Econ, by cars. Yeah, that's why now they introduce the electrical cars. Yeah, this is one way to reduce the protection of ozone layer. Yeah, and then you have the Basel Convention on the Transboundary Movement of Hazardous Waste and Disposal Act 1989. Yeah, in other areas where while the success of the program of bilateral cooperation and multilateral cooperation between Indonesia, Singapore, and other ASEAN countries on environment management, and the core services implemented by the department at headquarters, DOE office, and branches. Yeah. So the vision of DOE, environmental conservation to the well-being of the people. Yeah, I think this is very related very much to our daily life, our well-being. Yeah, environmental protection. Yeah. So what is the mission of DOE? Yeah, to ensure sustainable development in the process of nation building. Yeah, we just don't talk about development per se. We talk about sustainable development. Yeah, for example, like our oil palm industry. Do you think that is sustainable oil palm of development in Malaysia? Yes or no? Nitya, what do you think?
Yes, yes.
Why do you say yes, Nitya?
Because they have the palm oil, something, I don't remember the act for the palm oil.
Yeah. One of the very important policy decision of the oil palm industry is that they will comply with the international environmental sustainable development. Yeah, as you see, actually oil palm is also a forest by itself. Yeah, why do we call oil palm a forest by itself? Because they have branches that grow very well, and that branches produce oxygen. Yeah, and the palm oil branches together with the FFB, the fresh fruit bunch, yeah, and those unused fresh fruits, yeah, fresh fruits. This can be treated well again to become sustainable agriculture waste product. Yeah, so they do not pollute the environment. They will go back to nature and become fertilizer, natural fertilizer. Yeah, so that's why you can see the latest clone of oil palm can grow for 30 years. 30 years, and then the palm tree is not very tall, so it is easier to harvest the fruits compared to the older clone, whereby the oil palm is too high, very high, you know, and difficult to harvest the fruit. Yeah, so in a way this oil palm can be replanted and replanted and replanted, provided the soil is well managed. Yeah, in other words, the soil, the earth where the oil palm is planted is well taken care in terms of cycle just now. Yeah, in terms of the right fertilizer. And talking about other development in Malaysia, yeah, road infrastructure, industry, yeah, we are moving towards value-added development. Yeah, value-added means those development that require less human capital, but more intensive on innovation, on technology. Yeah, so I was with the Ministry of Science and Technology, yeah, and Innovation, And most of those projects and startup that are being approved by this ministry is towards high-end technology, yeah, rather than lower end and middle end. Now we are moving towards the higher added value of technology, and this is what we mean by to ensure sustainable development in the process of nation building for Malaysia. And I hope you will contribute through this environmental quality act, yeah. Whatever your company do must move towards good environmental practice and, very important, sustainable development for your present generation and the coming generation of Malaysia to be a developed country. Yeah. Any question on this or any input from your side? No?
No, doctor.
All right. So how many division or unit are there in DOE, yeah, in the headquarters?
11.
Yeah, there are 11 main division. You have the admin and finance, enforcement. They have enforcement division, yeah. They have the hazardous substance division, air division, water and marine division, assessment division, strategic communication division, information technology division, Environmental Institute of Malaysia. You have the institute also, yeah. And then you have the green industry unit. Yeah, this is the latest unit, the industry hijau, green industry. Yeah, and then you have the legal unit. Yeah, so every ministry they have the legal unit. Yeah, so you can reach the DOE. Yeah, you can give feedback, suggestion, or you can lodge complaint to the environmental pollution division, yeah, via mail, telephone call, or directly to the Department of Environment, yeah, DOE headquarters control room in Putrajaya. Yeah. So these are the enforcement function of the Department of Environment. Yeah. Function number 1, there are 12 function. Yeah. What are function number 1? They formulate strategies and direction of enforcement action for designed premises, yeah, and then also non-designed premises, yeah. So they set the enforcement KPI. They have the KPI, yeah, of the DOE, and strengthen the state DOE enforcement program. They even have the program that strengthen the enforcement as well as the status of compliant target. They have compliant target too, yeah. And number 3, they set the target compliant report according to the type of pollution, premises, and the regulation under Akta Kualiti Alam Sekitar 1974. Yeah. And then number 4, they can issue certificate of verification under Section 40 of the Act 1974 for the verification, the ruling of CAPAS for court action, yeah, referred by the state DOE, yeah. And number 5, to regulate the receipt, distribution of environmental pollution complaint for action by the state DOE or the relevant agencies under the DOE, yeah. And then number 6, to operate the operating room, which function 24 hours a day. Okay, become the environmental hotline channel, yeah. And then function number 7, to regulate the investigation or complaint and feedback to the complainants, yeah. So when you make the complaint, you will also get the feedback, yeah. All right. So number 8, to manage the database of the environmental pollution complaint, yeah. The periodic report on the status of the complaint. See, you will be given on the status of your complaint, yeah, in the public complaint bureau. I think CC to public complaint bureau, yeah. And number 9, to provide feedback or notification, yeah, not related to the complex complaint cases that are of public interest, yeah. And then explain the field investigation or classified or complicated complaint cases, yeah, as well as annual environmental pollution report. So they also produce annual environmental pollution report, yeah. So number 10, dealing with the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, yeah, under the convention of the National Quality Council of JPM office, yeah. You remember the Muda flood case, whereby the public complained they did not see the National Disaster Management Agency, yeah, who is supposed to work with the National Security Council of the Jabatan Perdana Menteri, yeah. And the public said that this agency did not come to help them immediately, yeah, during the flood, yeah. And number 11, to update and manage the inventory database, yeah, on the permanent sources of pollution in Malaysia, yeah. The enforcement result, notice of instruction, compound, prohibition orders, and court action. Okay. So what are the permanent sources of pollution in Malaysia? Leran, any idea from you? What are the permanent sources of pollution? One of the main cause of pollution in Malaysia is industrial waste, scheduled waste, yeah. This one always come out in the newspaper, especially in Klang Valley. Yeah, Nitya, are you there, Nitya? I thought I didn't see your name. Victor, are you there? Hello, Victor.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So in your place of area where you work now, yeah, what do you think is the permanent source of pollution in your area?
Non-source of pollution, I think maybe asap from car and then aircon lah. Aircon.
Those car that produce excessive what do you call that? Carbon, right? Carbon
Yeah.
dioxide, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And then also
then
building emission from aircon lah.
aircon, yeah, maybe those
CO2, yeah.
aircon that are very old model, yeah, whereby the processor may not be able to process the waste product of the aircon, yeah. And if from sawit industry is from the milling, the oil palm mill, yeah. So that could be the permanent source of pollution, yeah, in our place of work, yeah. And from maybe if in Bintulu part, maybe from the oil and gas industry, yeah, in the heavy industrial factories in those area, yeah. And then responsibility number 12, yeah, to submit audit finding. They must audit the AIA report, yeah, and then after the project finish, they must come out with the final part of the AIA report when upon completion of the project, yeah, and management of recommendation to IMAS, yeah. I think this is the online complaint system, yeah, in response to the effectiveness of the enforcement plus the enforcement training given to the relevant company stakeholders, yeah. So this auditing part is very important to know to what extent the DOE report is true and fair and in compliance to the DOE regulation, DOE orders, DOE rules, yeah, and what are the action taken to ensure that effective enforcement training are given to the enforcement personnel, yeah. They must be trained, well trained, in order to carry out the enforcement well, yeah. So to cope with the environmental problem in Malaysia, the government has come out with very important law and policies, yeah. So these are the example, yeah, we already mentioned just now, early on, yeah. And there's another article, compliant with environmental law, road towards achieving healthy and sustainable triple bottom line, yeah. So this is we have heard of the environmental, social, and governance, yeah, ESG, yeah, that leads to sustainable development. The ESG policy, disclosure, and compliance, yeah. For example, Exxon Mobil, yeah, this is one of the investor group engine #1 in the world, yeah, that related to EU import of Malaysian oil palm, yeah. Thereby, this incident demonstrate that both the investor and the business may have underestimated the ESG is imperative at their peril. That means the environmental, social, and governance is very important. If we do not comply to ESG, it means we will invite problem to our industry. And this is what happened to our ongoing bilateral discussion, yeah, taking place between EU and Malaysian palm oil industry, yeah. So these are the major reported pollution activity in Malaysia, yeah. Most of the reported pollution environmental breaches, yeah, result from industrial activities, yeah. So one of them is the dumping of toxic waste, yeah. This happened in Sungai Kim Kim. One of the most severe pollution reported in Pasir Gudang, Johor Bahru, yeah, Johor. The people suffered breathing difficulties, vomiting when they inhaled the toxic foams from the river, yeah, caused by illegal dumping of chemical substance used by tire processing factory. And then you have the 2 parcel of land raided by the Selangor DOE, yeah, where they found more than 1,000 drum jumbo bag containing oil and rubber sludge. Yeah. This toxic waste illegally dumped that leads to toxic waste land pollution close to 1 hectare in size. Jalan Sijingkang Utama, Johan Setia. This one is Selangor, yeah. And then in Kampong Tambak Jawa, yeah, the illegal discarding of drum containing hazardous chemical become hazard to health and safety, yeah, where they caught fire and explode, yeah, and this have long-term health and safety to the area, yeah. Altogether 250 drum of glycerin, yeah, found dumped on the riverbank. Yes. So just now we talk about the pollution of water treatment plant. The Sungai Semenyih water treatment plant shut down due to pollution caused by illegal dumping of waste into the sewerage system, leading to a series of unscheduled water disruption shortages in Klang Valley. Okay. And then you have the closure of the Sungai Selangor Phase 1, 2, and 3 water treatment plant and the Rantau Panjang water treatment plant. Yeah. In Klang Valley, yeah. And then the dumping of industrial waste in Ipoh Perak, yeah. In Cepo, yeah. And then you have another one, solid waste illegal dumping in Sklidot location, yeah, organized by illegal dumping syndicate. Yes, and illegal method of disposal in Bukit Empas. Yeah, this one involve disposal of construction companies, waste disposal, recycling company. Yeah, and we have the legal and regulatory framework in Malaysia. Yeah, in terms of our orders, rules, and regulation. Yeah, we have mentioned this. Yeah, under the act, and the minister, they have the power. Okay, and the head of the DOE is the Director General. Yeah, in every ministry in Putrajaya, they must have a Director General. Yeah, they also can produce guideline. Yeah, on the management, the handling of waste and pollution to water and to land. Yeah, we have talked on the Environmental Quality Act now in detail. Yeah, we have the Environmental Quality Effluent Industrial Effluent Regulation 2009, Sewerage 2009, Schedule Waste 2005, Control of Pollution from Solid Waste Transfer Station and Landfill Regulation 2009. Yeah, we have enough law, legislation, rules, regulation, orders. Yeah. Then we have the contaminated land management and control guideline. Yeah, you can read in detail later. Yeah, and then the polluter pay principle, the responsibility for performing and paying for site assessment remedy falls on the polluter. Yeah, the landowner, the occupier. The risk-based approach to site assessment, remediation, and planning management. Yeah. So the detail of the guideline, the responsibility of all the parties concerned. Yeah. And the recommended site screening level, we call it SSLS. Yeah. These are guidance for industry soil. Yeah. Soil ingestion, thermal contact, direct vapor particles that we inhale. Yeah. Very detailed and very technical. Yeah. Assessing and reporting contaminated site, remedy of contaminated site. These are the remedial action. Yeah. Okay. Plan for review. Whatever EIA report must be reviewed by the DOE. Yeah. Is it enough? All our law, all our regulation, all our act, all our rules, enough. Yeah, very comprehensive. But we need effective, efficient, and strict enforcement. That part is still lacking in Malaysia. Yeah. So we also have the environmental law in Malaysia relating to manufacturing, oil and gas, and construction. Yeah. So you can see this is the environmental management in Malaysia for oil and gas industry. Yeah. This is one of the platform, oil and gas platform. Yeah. And we have the Malaysia current oil and gas regulatory framework. Yeah. The Petroleum Development Act 1974, the Petroleum Regulation 1974, Petroleum Regulation, and the Gas Supply Act 1993, GSA. And the PDA applies to all activities in the value chain of the industry in Malaysia, except for the supply of gas through pipeline to consumers, which is regulated by GSA. Yeah. So this gas for Sarawak, in Miri and Bintulu, the gas sent directly to consumer houses. Yeah. In Kuching, Cebu, and other part of Sarawak, we use the tank gas. Yeah, the tank gas supply. And then we have the Petroleum Development Act 1974. Yeah, whereby Petronas was formed to safeguard the country oil and gas resources. Yeah, and Petronas is vested with the entire ownership right, privileges, benefit in relation to exploring of producing oil and gas offshore and onshore in Malaysia. And on this issue has been contested by Sabah and Sarawak now, whereby Sabah and Sarawak only receive 5%. Yeah. And 95% go to Petronas. Yeah. So this is against the Malaysian agreement in 1963. And now I think Sabah and Sarawak is fighting to get the fair share of the oil and gas from our Sabah and Sarawak region. Yeah. So Sarawak, we have Petros. Yeah. Whereby under the ordinance, under the oil mining ordinance in Sarawak, Petros will be given the power to give license to any company, including Petronas, to operate and getting the license to have their operation license in Sarawak. Yeah. So that is under the new mining ordinance of Sarawak. Yeah. And then we have the Gas Supply Act 1993. Yeah, for the purpose of safeguarding the interests of consumers. Yeah, to receive and supply of gas through pipeline. Yeah. So we also have the other relevant legislation. Yeah. Under the federal legislation, the Continental Shelf Act 1966, National National Land Code 1965, the Land Acquisition Act 1960. We talk about the Environmental Quality Act now. We have discussed on the Occupational Safety and Health Act, Factories, Machinery, Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952, Land Public Transport Act 2010, Road Transport Act 1987, Industrial Coordination Act 1975, Excise Act 1976, Custom Act 1967, Petroleum Industry Electricity Control Supply Act 1974. And then you have the National Land Code 1965, the Land Acquisition Act 1960. You have the Electricity Supply Act 1990, Local Government Act 1976, Town and County Planning Act 1976, Street and Drainage Building Act 1974. All these are related to the management of environment in Malaysia. Yeah. And we talk about the health and safety environment management in oil and gas industry. Yeah. These are all the relevant act. Okay. And Petronas, they have the procedures, the guideline for upstream activities. Yeah. And then the oil and gas industry, the brief legal introduction. You can read this. Yeah. The oil was first discovered in Sarawak in 1910. Yeah. Then you have the economic transformation program, the performance management delivery unit Pemandu, yeah, and the Malaysian Resources Petroleum Resources Corporation, the standard sectors in the oil and gas industry, upstream oil and gas exploration, yeah, midstream infrastructure, downstream oil and gas, yeah. Who are the major players of oil and gas industry in Malaysia? Yeah, Petronas. Then we have Petros for Sarawak, and for Sabah, I think they have this is Petros, yeah, Petroleum Sarawak Berhad. And then for Sabah, they have this is still about Petros, yeah. You can read later, yeah, the detail. They have the roadmap, yeah, for Petros. And then I think for Sabah, they have the Sabah Petroleum Development of Sabah. Yeah. Their setup is more on company style of petroleum development. following the Company Act, yeah. But for Sarawak, Petros is formed under the mining ordinance in Sarawak, whereby they have the authority, the power to issue license to Petronas or any other petroleum company that take part in the oil and gas industry in Sarawak. Yeah. So with that, I think I complete the main law, the main act related to environmental, good environmental practice, sound management, and sustainable development in Malaysia. So do you have any question or any doubt you would like to ask me from week number 1 until week number 6 today? Please ask question now. We have 3 more minutes to 11 o'clock. Izati, any question from you?
No, doctor.
No.
Thank you.
Zainuddin, baru saya nampak Zai. How are you, Zai?
Fine, doctor.
Izati. Good. Good to hear that, yeah. Really, any question, really? No
So
question.
far no, doctor.
Oh, okay. Please remind me of our meeting, yeah, on your report, yeah, progress. Victor, any question, Victor?
No, doctor. But for this apa contract act and then environment act, this one I can send via email later kan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Focus
Okay.
on the contract act and the safety health safety OSA, yeah, OSA act, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, doctor.
Those things that we discuss in detail, yeah. I think during the final class, we may discuss it again lah with your side. But the make sure the example you give is the practical example, simple example, yeah, related to the contract, yeah. About Netia, are you there, Netia? Albert, any question? Albert, Edri, are you there? Edri? Edri, Edri, no question, yeah. And Dayang Amelina, she have urgent thing to do outside. She left the class already. Imira, any question from you, Imira?
No, doctor. Thank you.
No question, okay. Thank you. Izati, any question, Izati?
No, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. So there's 1 more minute for us to discuss any other thing that you may want to discuss. If no, you can always contact me. You can always message me or email me on any issue related to all those that I have shared with you during class. Yeah. So with that, now it's 11 o'clock. I end the class, and I wish you all the best in your next stage of your classes. Yeah, with Engineer Dr. Ting, and selamat maju jaya, and happy weekend from me. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor.
So I stop sharing now, yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you.